So first off, can you give us a little bit of background on your experience living in Cardiff, growing up, how it is now, and how that's led to you reaching out to me today?
So I was born in Cardiff. I've lived here all my life. My area has been, luckily, not very multicultural until recently. There's more parts of Cardiff going towards the centre that are very multicultural, but for where I live, it's pretty white on the most part.
So have there been any standout experiences for you at any point that have been really concerning, or things that you have been through, experienced, been told, whatever it may be, whether it be in your youth, whether it be recent? Are there any standout experiences you want to bring forward?
So when I was in college about 7 years ago, I was in quite a multicultural college. There was about 5 or 6 white kids and the rest were Somalis or Pakistan, whatever. So the one day my teacher, it was only a small college, my teacher brought me and 5 other white kids into this class, and you know, there was boys and girls in it, and he said, have any of you heard anything about grooming gangs activity that's happening in Cardiff? Have any of you been affected by it, or do you know anything about it? And that was probably the first time that it was brought to my attention, especially through like a college, which I just wasn't expecting to happen.
You mentioned there that it was the teachers that brought your group in to talk about this. So indicating that the teachers were at least aware that these things were going on. And you mentioned, just to check, that this was about 6 years ago?
Yeah, something like that, 6 or 7 years ago, yeah.
Do you think there's a good likelihood then that these things could have existed long before that as well, these occurrences of these gangs?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, they didn't want to name names and ask too many questions, but I think, especially with what's been going on in England, they knew, for example, that it was happening in Wales, and the areas that I was in college, it was in, is quite multicultural, so I think they were presuming stuff was happening around by there as well.
And what was it like being educated in one of these institutions where, speaking to a lot of other people elsewhere in the country, it would be a lot more diverse, if I'm not mistaken, than other educational facilities or institutions? Did that have any notable instances or experiences reminiscing the kinds of things that we see when we're talking about grooming gangs, rape gangs, those kinds of things, sectarianism, racial motivations for things? Do you have any experiences with any kind of that stuff as well?
Yeah, so in college, obviously being one of the only white people there, I had racial abuse thrown at me continuously. Like, white boy, go and do this, white boy, go and do that. I got called kafir a few times because I used to smoke. And there was loads of stuff. I luckily wasn't targeted as bad as other people, but there was one kid in my college who was targeted really bad for it, you know, beaten up, threats, you know, attack, you name it, he had it, like.
What was the educational institutions, the school or the college's response to this, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't think they knew. I don't think anyone mentioned it, and if they did, they didn't do anything about it.
Oh, so it was the case then that if they did know something about it, nothing was done, but it could be the case that they actually didn't know that it was going on.
Yeah, so I'm not 100%. I'm not sure if they knew about it, but if they did, they didn't exactly do anything to stop it.
Have you noticed anything troubling, just walking around your community and stuff like that, troubling instances, or, you know, any other kinds of, you know, stories you've been told, accounts that you've been told?
So there was this girl I knew when I was about 18 or 19, and she said on Newport Road there is a load of hostels. Now one of the hostels is called, it's a girls' hostel, I think it's for maybe 16 years and upwards, and obviously these are like troubled women, maybe homeless, maybe drug users. And what I got told was, there was a restaurant on City Road, right at the end of City Road by the Weatherspoons, that they all used to work in. Now, that was almost like advertisement. They would go there, obviously dressed smart, and City Road is predominantly foreign. Like, there's not many white people there. So this restaurant was a hotspot for Asian men to go to. And obviously these girls would be wearing like smart clothes to do waitressing. So then there was another place, what's the road called? It's in Adamsdown, Clifton Street. So on Clifton Street there is a barber shop. Now I've seen this myself. These girls, I saw about 7 girls, and they were from about 16 to maybe about 25, all dolled up, wearing makeup, nice clothes, not so much like dresses and stuff, but made an effort. They would go to this barbershop about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and the shutters would be down, so you'd see a lad open the shutters, the girls would walk in, they'd walk right to the back of the barbershop, and that's where the flat was. Obviously then the guy would shut the barbershop. Now this barbershop opened about 10 o'clock in the morning, so why would these girls go into this barbershop so early in the morning to head straight towards the flat? They weren't going to be having haircuts there, because obviously it was a men's barbershop.
What do you think was going on? What kind of either suggestions or what things might then jump out at you as to what might be going on behind those shutter doors when you see those things going on?
Well, with obviously all the stuff that's happened all over England and, the many rape gangs that have happened all across Britain, you can just presume. Like I said, why would they be going to a barbershop so early in the morning when the place wasn't even open?
Do you think that might have been one of the places where either direct abuse was taking place, or do you think that if there were not direct abuse taking place, that this could maybe be like a hub to where these girls were sent out on other things? We know that some of the other factors that are conjoined in with all of this mess are things like drugs and alcohol and all of those kinds of things. Do you think that if there was no direct abuse even being taking place there, that it could have potentially then been like a hub for one of these other things?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't want to say if it is where sexual activity is happening or anything, because I fully don't know, but you can just assume, can't you?
From what you understand of the area of Cardiff in general then, residing there, what is the general consensus that you know of, in your opinion, or general public perception of these things? Do you feel that you're kind of an outlier viewing these things and looking at them in this way and seeing these troubling patterns? Or do you think that there's a lot of people in Cardiff that see it, and as a result then it could be indicating that this actually is a really prevalent problem in these areas?
I think people know, whether or not they're aware of it or whether or not they actually want to do anything or care about it enough is another story, but 100% people know. It's not just me who's seen it, it's many people.
Is there anything else you'd like to add that you'd like to make both either myself or the viewers watching this aware of in these final remarks?
If you know anything, you must come forward. This is the only way this is going to end.
Would you be willing to show me around some of these areas so that we can maybe see this for ourselves on the ground and really start hopefully getting a lot of light on these things? If they are going on, everybody really does need to know about it.
Yeah, 100%.
You feel almost foreign in your own country. Like, this
Yeah.
could be somewhere in Turkey.
Yeah.
Do you see that sign there saying ambassador, the black one?
No.
On the right.
Oh, yeah.
That is actually a brothel.
All right, okay. Is that the kind of gas that I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the ones they stick in the balloons. And
The happy gas?
Yeah.
The Joker toxin? It looks like they're going to be turning this into a cultural centre.
Probably an Islamic one.
Yeah, it is.
This application has been made to the County of Cardiff to carry out the above development into Shah Jalal Islamic Cultural Centre. Croeso, Roth.
Cardiff. I'm assuming that's this building.
Yeah, probably. So, that's what I mean, once he started to take over his... Oh, I